Former Jamaican Prime Minister Edward SEAGA laid to rest. And in sport, opening Windies batsman Sunil AMBRIS to replace injured Andre Russell for the rest of the World Cup. I'm Dawn Paris and this is Caribbean in 10 from Monday, June 24th, 2019. We'll be back with the details after the break. Jamaica's fifth Prime Minister has been laid to rest. Edward SEAGA received a grand farewell at a state funeral at the Cathedral of the Most Holy Trinity in downtown Kingston yesterday morning, following 4 days of official mourning in the country. He died in a hospital in the United States on May 28th on his 89th birthday.
Man for all seasons.
Bringing together local and regional dignitaries like musical legend Jimmy Cliff, former Prime Minister of Barbados Owen Arthur, Premier of the Cayman Islands Alden McLaughlin, Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands Charlene Cartwright Robinson, and Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell went back 36 years, recalling the United States invasion of Grenada in October 1983 and Mr. SEAGA's position on the issue.
It was a challenging time in the country's history. Edward SEAGA had the courage of conviction to take a stand when Grenada was bleeding literally and figuratively. There may not have been a unanimous support for the course of action taken then, but I stand here today convinced that you are acting in Grenada's best interests, and for that we thank you.
The gratitude from Prime Minister Andrew Holness was on a personal note, having worked as an aide to Mr. SEAGA. In 2011, when Holness became JLP leader, he had an unforgettable moment.
He held my hands and repeated the same thing. Andrew, don't forget the poor.
Treasured memories of Edward SEAGA, father, great leader, visionary, thinker, mentor and friend, carving out his place in history, inspiring many generations to come.
That report from TVJ's Andrea Chisholm. Well, after the service, SEAGA was laid to rest at National Heroes Park. Ghana's President David Granger has officially invited opposition leader Barrett JAGDEO to a meeting after the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, delivers its consequential orders today, following its ruling that the no-confidence motion passed against the government last December was valid. According to the letter of invitation, the meeting will be held at the Ministry of the Presidency after today at a time convenient to both parties to discuss the current political situation resulting from the decision and the orders to be given today. The CCJ will hear from all parties on what should happen following its ruling that the December 21st, 2018 no-confidence motion against the coalition government was properly passed with 33 votes in the 65-seat National Assembly. The court had also ruled that the appointment of the chairman of the Ghana Elections Commission breached the Constitution. The Antigua and Barbuda government says it will extradite Indian billionaire Mihail Chokshi, who is wanted in his homeland on criminal charges, but only after he has his matter dealt with by the local courts. India and Antigua do not have a bilateral extradition pact, but authorities in India have been trying to bring back the diamond billionaire under a law that allows Antigua to send a fugitive to a designated Commonwealth country. Chokshi, who was granted citizenship of Antigua and Barbuda in 2018, is wanted in India for criminal conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, corruption and money laundering. Speaking on his private radio station over the weekend, Prime Minister Gaston Brown said his country was not trying to harbor any fugitive.
His citizenship will be revoked and he will be repatriated to India. It's not a case that we're trying to provide any safe harbor for criminals, for those who are involved in financial crimes. And I don't want to go any further with that one. We have to allow for due process. He has the matter before the court. And as we said to the Indian government, the criminals have fundamental rights too. And Chokshi has the right to go to court and to defend his position. After he would have exhausted all his legal options, he will be extradited. That's the reality of it.
Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
Welcome to this year's 50th Caribbean Broadcast Union Assembly on the island of San Andres. San Andres is a small archipelago located in between Jamaica and Panama in the western Caribbean Sea. A lush, exotic island rich in culture, history, gastronomy, and breathtaking scenic views. Known for its beaches and 7-colored crystalline waters, the island of San Andres will be proudly hosting this year's event. CBU members will enjoy top-of-the-line accommodations for an unforgettable experience in San Andres, connecting Caribbean nations through this year's 50th edition of the CBU Assembly.
Sports now. Opening West Indies batsman Sunil AMBRIS will replace the injured Andre Russell for the remainder of the ICC Cricket World Cup in England. This was confirmed today by the International Cricket Council. Russell has been nursing a chronic knee injury that has tormented him in recent years, and he has struggled throughout the tournament, failing to last a single game. He was in visible pain during West Indies' 7-wicket defeat to Bangladesh in Taunton. Russell also appeared in discomfort during his 16-ball overs of seam during the England run chase, and eventually left the field as the hosts and tournament favourites cruised to a comfortable 8-wicket win at the Rose Bowl. Meanwhile, the 26-year-old AMBRIS has played 6 tests and 6 ODIs for the West Indies. Last month, the right-hander hit his career best 148 in an ODI against Ireland. And reigning world champion Lewis Hamilton dominated yesterday's French Grand Prix to win his 4th straight race and 6th of the season and install himself as heavy favourite to retain his driver's title. Starting from pole, the 34-year-old led from start to finish to take the checkered flag 18 seconds clear of Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas and stretch his lead at the top to 36 points. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc claimed the other podium place as the Red Bull pair of Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel were a disappointing 4th and 5th.
As well, Hamilton completes a very good day as Charles Leclerc makes a move on Valtteri Bottas into the last corner. Can't get past the Mercedes. It's a 1-2 finish for Mercedes here in France. Can Sebastian Vettel take away the extra point from Lewis Hamilton and get the fastest lap? He crosses the line. Now he does.
Phenomenal weekend, guys. Just so proud of everyone. Thank you so much for all the hard work, continued work. Let's keep it up.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us at 6:30 this evening for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.